You are listening to Sustainable from Agribusiness Global, covering the crop protection, biologicals, and plant health markets advancements toward a healthier planet. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Sustainable Podcast by Agribusiness Global. I'm Sarah Webb, editor of Agribusiness Global, and your host for today's podcast. In this episode, I speak with Clare Doyle, CEO of Verdesian Life Sciences, about why 2026 marks a turning point for agriculture and biotech, biological solutions on the horizon, regions where integrated management is most prevalent, and more. Thank you for joining. Claire, thanks so much for joining me today. Jumping right in here, would you say that 2026 marks a turning point for agriculture and biotech?
Absolutely. No one would argue that we don't have challenging market conditions. And the good news is that challenging market conditions often serve as catalysts for innovation. And what it's doing is it's forcing growers to look away from the status quo and look for opportunities to drive efficiency, drive impactful change, and look for creative solutions. So 2026 does feel like an inflection point because the pressure on growers haven't been any more challenging than they are right now with the higher input costs, those tighter margins with lower commodity prices. And so the industry seems to be moving and looking for better solutions, not more solutions. And that's exactly where nutrient use efficiency comes in. And the growers are looking for that good ROI and that good utilization of the resources that they are going to put on their plants.
And building on that, are there any biological solutions on the horizon that you think will make a big impact?
Yeah, across the industry, we're seeing a meaningful shift towards solutions that strengthen that soil biome. And that's exactly what we're pursuing. We're looking for and we're bringing to market solutions that help the crops perform better under various stresses. And what we're trying to do is support the nutrient cycling and that whole plant resistance. And we continue to innovate with metabolites. And metabolites are not living organisms. They're small molecules, a product of metabolism, and they're essential for human health and plant health. And you think of, in your body, the glucose, the amino acids, and lipids. It's the same kind of building blocks that are supporting basic cellular processes. And that cellular processes is everything from energy to defense of pathogens. And that's exactly what I think is much more exciting as we go forward.
Absolutely. And adding to that, what would you say in this context sustainability means today?
When we think about sustainability, we have to be very, very practical. We have
Mhm.
to think about not only the environment, the water, the air, but we have to think about economic viability. Because if you have solutions that address part of the equation and you miss that whole economic viability piece of it, we won't have a sustainable solution.
Mhm.
And that's where farmers are looking for ways to reduce their impact on the environment, but also improve their economic outcomes. How do we develop things that are good for the soil biome, good for the water, good for the plant, but also work for the farmer's pocketbook?
Okay. And can you discuss also how biology forward management complements conventional inputs?
Yeah, when you think about the future, it is not one or the other. When you think
Mhm.
about biologicals and biological solutions, they absolutely have to complement the synthetic chemistries and the conventional inputs that we have today. These two solutions are going to work hand in hand going forward. We worked with an herbicide or a fungicide with a biological solution that reduces the impact, the stresses on the plant, so that you're able to use your conventional solutions, but at the same time support the plant health. And
Mhm.
that's what we see going forward. It's not one or the other, but it's these two solutions going forward. When we think about crop protection, we should also be thinking about crop nutrition at the very same time. It's the same dynamics that it works with human health. The healthier you are, the more able you will be able to fight off that cold or that virus as it comes through. Same thing on your plants. The healthier the soil biome, the healthier the plant environment is when you're treating it
Mhm.
against pathogens, the better the outcome.
Absolutely. I really like that analogy. And are there any regions or markets in particular where you're seeing this trend be the most prevalent?
So our key markets are North America and South America. That's where we focus. And certainly this trend is is strongest and more adopted in South America, but we do see North America being very open to the solutions. It just takes a little bit of time. But as we talked about before, in these markets where there's lots of challenges, people are looking for innovation and innovative solutions.
Well said. And wrapping up here, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, I think that in this market, it's all about efficiencies, efficiencies in what we do and efficiencies in what we're applying to the soil. And nutrient use efficiency is all about that good ROI for the grower and a good outcome for the soil and the environment.
Well said. And thank you so much, Claire, for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Sustainable from Agribusiness Global. You can find more podcasts, videos, news, e newsletters, event, and webinar information at agribusinessglobal.com.